Hi, students. I wanted to get back to you all with some feedback from week one. I apologize for this being a little bit late. I'm trying to get used to the weeks being midweek instead of starting on the end of the week. But to start off for week one, welcome, obviously. I appreciate all of you who have turned in your biographies. It was really nice to get to know a little bit about all of you as we start this term together. If you have not already, please make sure that you copy your biography and post it on the class wall. Otherwise, I'm the only one who's going to be able to see it. If you post it on the class wall, all of your peers will be able to see it as well. So please do that when you have the opportunity. The next assignment that you had this week was navigating the online environment scavenger hunt. Everyone who turned it in did pretty well. For the most part, you all found what you needed to turn in this assignment. What I did was I attached the answer key to all of your feedback so that just in case you did get a question wrong, or maybe you only partially answered a question, this way you have all of the responses. And even if you got full credit for the scavenger hunt, there may be a little bit of extra material in that key, that answer key. So make sure you take a look at that. And again, helps you get to know the environment if you've never used this specific Loud Cloud platform before. I know that all of the different online platforms are different and unique in their own way. And so this gives you an opportunity to get to know this one. So we had two discussions. Topic one was regarding the university's mission and the integration of religion and spirituality in counseling. I think that the conversation overall was really productive. I think that everyone, for the most part, who participated had a chance to share their thoughts and views and ideas on this. I think that some of the cues that are really important, or the key points that are really important to take away, is that as counselors, we're not supposed to impose our own belief systems or value systems onto our clients. And actually, under ACA, that's like specifically something we're not allowed to do. We can work from a spiritual or religious standpoint from where the client is coming from, so we can help them to kind of sort out their own beliefs and value systems. We can help them work from whatever framework they already have, their existing framework, to help them, and because these things can be considered strengths and resources and points of resiliency, and we definitely want to utilize that if possible, but it's also if the client wants to. And so if the client is trying to sort out their own belief and value system, we shouldn't be inserting what we believe and saying, well, this is what I believe and this is, my information, but just kind of helping them to figure it out for themselves. The difference would be that there are religious-based counseling, so that would be like Christian-based counseling, or, I'm sure that other religions have specific counseling related to their doctrine, and those would be specifically related to the beliefs that the counselor is, and client are coming together on. And that needs to be stated up front, that this is Christian-based counseling specifically, and I'm coming from, this type of Christian viewpoint, either, a specific denominational one or a non-denominational framework. The second topic for this week was more related to what your hopes are for this program, this specific course, your program, and what your career goals are moving forward. Again, it was really great to hear a lot about what you all have been working in and what you want to work on and all of that stuff. So I think this conversation also went well. It was an opportunity for you and your peers to converse and talk about individual differences and similarities in what you all want to attain, even, within the same program. There's a lot of differences, and there's also similarities between programs, which is awesome. So I did put this in a post. I wanted to really clarify that you are to respond to each of the topics each week. So you're going to have one post that's responding directly to the question. And then you, throughout the week, the rest of the week, you're supposed to be coming on and replying at least 3 posts to peers. Um, and you can definitely do more than that. You can kind of finish a conversation as it continues to progress in the natural form, things like that. So commenting more often is wonderful. That's perfectly fine. I just don't want it to get to the point where you're commenting so much that it's sort of distracting from the learning environment or taking away from your peers' opportunities to participate. The other thing is that I also don't want you walking away from conversations. And so if you've done your 3 posts, but a peer has commented and asked you a direct question, it would probably be the nice thing to do to go back and at least respond to them, even if you're not posting a full substantial post. That gets to the point of substantial post. This first week, I feel like I identified a number of posts as substantial that were decent responses, were engaging or whatever, but didn't necessarily follow that substantial post requirement that I posted in the announcement. And so as graduate students, this is going to get a little bit more stringent as the term moves on. And so you want to make sure you're following that specific format. And so to go over that with you, when you're responding to peers for your substantial post, your 3 substantial posts for the week, you want to follow the ABC method. And so the A is acknowledging the contributions that that person has given, right? So I hear what you're saying. I agree with you here, or I like how you said this. You want to build on the ideas of the original post with your own thoughts or analysis. These are ways that I disagree, or this is how this has played out for me, and kind of add to that a little bit. And then finally, the area that seems to be missing the most is the C part, the ability to contribute to the discussion by asking a probing question that deepens the understanding of the material, which I have seen a little bit here and there, which is awesome. Or if you feel like you don't really have a question to ask, but you might want to provide a supplemental resource. So this is a resource I go to frequently, or this is a book that I've read, or this is a website that I found helpful. And so kind of pushing the conversation a little bit further so that you're helping really to educate one another at the same time. I think that this really helps the discussions be a lot more of an educational resource versus just having a conversation. And as I saw all of your biographies and your goals and all of the work that you've done, I think that you all have a lot to offer to your peers. Some of you are so accomplished. You've been working in different areas of the field for so long, or even different fields that really could lend themselves to be important to others in the class. And so I definitely want to see you sharing some of that. And so those substantial posts are going to have all 3 of those components, the A, B, and the C, to count as substantial moving forward. Week 2, since we're already into it, I'm going to give also a little bit of grace there. But moving into the future weeks, they're not going to end up being counted as substantial, and you won't be able to earn the full participation points for the week without them being substantial. And so if you look at the grading in the course, each of your first responses to the topics are worth 5 points. And so I do expect a little bit from them. I expect you to fully answer the question, use a resource or something like that if necessary. But your participation for the week is 20 points. And so it's 4 times the amount those posts are. And so I want to make sure that you're using these in a substantial way to really push yourself to go a little bit further, and also give your peers a little bit something extra to think about or to work on, or something like that. And so to kind of give you that perspective from a point value system, it sort of shows the level of importance that those responses have. Again, I love that you continue the conversation. Even if they don't count as substantial post, don't leave your friends hanging. If they've asked a question or something like that, definitely go back to it. The final point about participation is you are supposed to be participating at least 3 days throughout the week and not going more than 2 days without participation. So if you post something like your initial response on, say Monday, Or actually our week starts on Wednesday. So like if you posted on Wednesday and you don't post anything on Thursday or Friday, make sure you're getting back in there to post on Saturday. So you're not going more than 2 days without posting. And then make sure you're spreading it out. Maybe you're posting your initial post, both of them on the same day, but then you go back a couple times to get involved in the discussion throughout the week so that you're participating all throughout and not just at the very beginning or at the very end, kind of squeezing it all together. So hopefully that helps a little bit with the course overall, but also week one. I'm excited to get into week two. I've already started looking at and grading some of the work that you've been doing, and you'll see me again at the beginning of each week, and then I will try to post one of these kind of weekly wrap-ups each week as well. So best to you all, and I look forward to continuing working with you during this term.